Title: Shadows of Betrayal. Liam's world had once been gilded, wealth, power, a name that turned heads in all the right circles. Then, like a house of cards hit by a sudden gust, it all crumbled. A charge, a trial, a prison sentence so long he stopped counting the days. Then came the twist. Without warning, he was released. No explanation, no apology. Just a one-way ticket back to a life he barely recognized. The gates opened, and the world outside smelled different, felt different. But what awaited him at home made the prison walls seem like a sanctuary. He stepped through the front door, the scent of lavender still lingering in the air, her scent. But instead of the warmth he had once known, a stranger's presence hung thick. The laughter from the living room was casual, intimate, a dagger twisted in his gut. Then he saw them. His wife, Alara, her belly round, carrying another man's child. And that man, sitting comfortably in his chair, the chair Liam had picked out himself, looking as though he belonged. For a moment, silence stretched. Then Alara's eyes met his, widening in shock, guilt, something else, something unreadable. You. She barely whispered. Liam forced himself to swallow the storm rising in his throat. He had rehearsed this moment in his head countless times during those cold, empty nights. But none of those scenarios had included this betrayal that cut deeper than any prison sentence. The other man, Caleb, stood, adjusting his watch, unfazed. Guess the news didn't reach us fast enough. His voice was cool, unaffected. Liam clenched his fists. How long? His voice was quiet, measured, a sharp contrast to the war raging inside him. Alara hesitated. Then, softly, not long after, she didn't need to finish the sentence. Not long after he had been locked away, stripped of everything. Not long after she had assumed he was gone for good. Liam let out a slow breath. The truth was a venom he hadn't been prepared for. Did you even fight for me? He asked, voice like steel. Alara's expression flickered, but she said nothing. Caleb was watching him, eyes calculating. Look, man, it was what it was. Life moved on. Liam gave a hollow laugh. Life moved on. The words tasted bitter. He had spent years in the shadows, surviving on scraps of hope. Meanwhile, his wife had rewritten their story, erased him from the pages. The walls of his own home felt foreign. The warmth had been stripped away, the familiarity replaced with an intruder who had walked in like he belonged. Liam's fingers tightened around his keys. Then I guess it's time for life to move on again. Without waiting for an answer, he turned on his heel, stepping back into the cold night. He had learned one thing behind those prison walls: the world may take everything from you, but a man is only truly defeated when he lets it break him. And Liam. he was far from broken. This tale is laced with suspense, betrayal, and a touch of poetic justice. What do you think? Would you want an alternate ending?